What is on your mind when you hear the word prison? Surely you will immediately say the most appropriate place to punish criminals or criminals so they are deterred and afraid to repeat their crimes. Maybe many of you who imagine life in prison are all limited space, filled with dirt and disease. But it is different from the following several prisons because it is not only limited to disease, but also the violence that is in prison. This was done to give a deterrent effect and fear for criminals not to repeat again. Well, what about the appearance of the cruelest prison in the world, which can make a lot of criminals afraid if included in this terrible place? Curious? Let's follow the review.
Number 5.
Kwang Prison.
The Bangkok Central Prison is a man-centered prison in Nonthaburi Province, Thailand, located on the Chao Phraya River about 7 miles north of Bangkok. This prison was originally used for foreign prisoners. This prison is a tough prison in handling the death penalty and the length of the prisoner's sentence. All detainees were required to wear iron pads on their feet for 3 months in the prison. In the book The Damage Done, former prisoner and drug courier Warren Fellows relate that this prison was nicknamed the Big Tiger by the Thai people because the prisoners only wandered and ate. Prisoners received 1 bowl of rice with vegetable soup every day. Other food must be purchased from the prison canteen. Each prisoner has an account with the canteen. Poor detainees carry out tasks for wealthy inmates and guards to get money for food. Some British and Lebanese prisoners receive extra money per month from the charity. The British Embassy also provides food and vitamins for their detainees. Prisoners were given cooking facilities and gas for stoves provided by the prison. This prison is arguably no longer feasible. Besides being overcrowded, there is also a shortage of guards. The ingredients are chained. Reportedly many prisoners went crazy due to stress over the first month in prison. Prison director Quentin acknowledged that his prison was the loudest in all of Thailand. Here the facilities are very minimal, including health care for very standard prisoners. A prisoner who is sick can only curl up with a chained leg in his room while waiting for the drug to arrive, if possible.
Number 4.
Alcatraz Prison.
One of the most famous prisons in the world, Alcatraz, also known as the Rock, is located on a coral island about 2 kilometers from the coast of San Francisco. The prison's main building was established in 1910 until 1912 and was originally used as a U.S. military prison. Alcatraz is a high-security prison in the past. That is why so many great criminals are put into this isolated prison. One of the most phenomenal prisoners named Al Capone, who is a gangster with a lot of criminal cases in America. Alcatraz prison has around 300 cells, each room containing only 1 person. The guard is super tight. There isn't even a guarantee of being able to get out safely. Every year around 36 people try to escape from this place. But everything ended horribly. More than 20 must have been caught and given a sentence. Some of them died as a result of being shot on the spot and also drowning in the middle of the ocean. From the data found, many prisoners were missing and not found at all. Alcatraz has been operating for 29 years and never once executed officially. This means that all criminals are only imprisoned. But from some facts that stick out, this place often happens murder, either done by prison guards or horrible prison gangs. The tense atmosphere at Alcatraz turned out to make a lot of prisoners couldn't stand it. Many of them committed suicide, ending his life quickly so as not to feel more suffering. Alcatraz is like Azkaban prison in a series of novels and Harry Potter films. Alcatraz prison has 4 different blocks. Blocks B and C are usually used to imprison inmate prisoners, whereas blocks A and D are used to imprison prisoners who are always rebellious and create a lot of problems in prison. Below Block A is a large room and is often called the Spanish dungeon. This place is rarely used because it is dark and very stuffy. Some inmates believe that this place was used for the execution of prisoners and the bodies were immediately dumped on the high seas. This zone is also often used to escape even though eventually many are caught. Alcatraz is known as the most haunted prison in the world. Its location in the middle of the sea makes it rarely visited by people, especially when still operating. A lot of murder cases and also suicide. Even when prisons are still operating, many inmates are haunted by the horrors of people who have gone horribly. At present, Alcatraz prison is left alone. The surrounding population makes it a monument to past cruelty. Every day a lot of people come to watch Alcatraz from binoculars. If a visitor is lucky, he will see some horrible sightings here.
Number 3.
Rikers Island.
This prison is very legendary and quite feared in New York City. Prisons in the Bronx, precisely located on the island of Rikers, have a budget of more than $800 million each year. According to the news, torture in this prison is very terrible. Even the prison guards say they are afraid to see violence immediately as beatings and murders as if it were normal. Rikers Island prison is considered the most stringent in the world. Rikers has a long list of assaults, rape and murder carried out by prison guards to inmates. The guards also made a fight club as entertainment, which put inmates versus inmates. Initially, the island was used as a training ground for regiments during the Civil War. In 1932, the island was used as a prison. The prison complex is 413 hectares. Rikers has facilities including schools, medical clinics, soccer fields, chapels, mini markets and more. The brutal torture of prisoners made this prison famous in 2007. Prisoner Charles Affleck suffered excessive torture from prison guards and had to undergo brain surgery. As many as 6 prisoners committed suicide in their cells because they could not stand the atmosphere of the prison that was suppressed in 2003.
Number 2.
San Quentin.
San Quentin State Prison is a California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation state prison for men, located north of San Francisco in the unincorporated town of San Quentin in Marin County. Opened in July 1852, San Quentin is the oldest prison in California. The state's only death row for male inmates, the largest in the United States, is located at the prison. It has a gas chamber, but since 1996, executions at the prison have been carried out by lethal injection, though the prison has not performed an execution since 2006. The prison has been featured on film, radio drama, video, and television, is the subject of many books, has hosted concerts, and has housed many notorious inmates. As of fiscal year 2006-2007, the prison had 1,718 staff and an annual budget of $210 million. It is one of the largest prisons in the United States with a population of 4,223 inmates as of October 30, 2013. By December 2016, the population had declined to 3,774 inmates. Men condemned to death in California must be held at San Quentin, while condemned women are held at Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla. As of December 2015, San Quentin held almost 700 male inmates in its condemned unit or death row. As of 2001, San Quentin's death row was described as the largest in the Western Hemisphere. As of 2005, it was called the most populous execution antechamber in the United States.
Los Bandita.
It is common knowledge that in prisons in South America, prisoners can easily smuggle firearms, narcotics, cellular phones, and computers with internet connections. This was due to the lack of rules that limited their movements when they were behind the prison walls. So, it is not surprising that these prisoners can freely continue their illicit business from prison. Whether it's firearms or illegal drugs. One of the prisons with a reputation that is no less bad on this continent is a prison named Los Bandita. Los Bandita was located in the western region of the city of Maracaibo, Zulia State. Los Bandita prison is occupied by around 3,700 prisoners, even though the capacity they can accommodate is 700 prisoners. In addition, the guards are actually only to oversee 150 people. The officers there also did not regulate the daily activities of the detainees, so that when the break arrived, the prisoners were free to roam the field and do whatever they liked. No doubt, the commotion and conflict were rampant in this prison. Stabbing between prisoners is a common thing. 3 years ago, precisely in September 2013, chaos broke out again. This incident claimed 16 lives of detainees. Some of them are found in the condition of the body that is not intact. The cause was the same. All this was triggered by a feud between the two most powerful gangs in prison.